Very special, it's very different, and there's a whole heap of layers, and I'm not talking about the plants. Come and have a look. Now we've got this bit of dirt out here, which is our roadway, but as you can see, there's nobody going to ever be driving on it in the near future. So we've planted it out with some short-term plants. If somebody wants the dirt back for the road, there's got to be no loss. Not planting trees and things that are long-term, it's just very short-term crops. Now, Lung Tiger, Uncle Tiger, he put these in, these sticks. I thought, what's he planting these sticks for? I don't know, but apparently at the bottom of each one, there's a rows of chilies along, and I thought these might grow from cuttings possibly, because they're all green on this side and dry sticks on the other side. I'm not sure. Had a lot of problems with communications. I grew my beans, long beans. I grew them in a seed tray. These are about 2 weeks old now. Pretty traditional the way we do it in Australia, the way I've always done it in the past. Got some sticks. In Australia we use tea tree sticks. We go out the bush and get some tea tree sticks, tie them up. Sort of the same as. That was alright. And then another uncle, father-in-law, turned up to help me with the garden. And before I knew it, he'd this area here, which is just basically building rubble and rubbish, and had been pushed back a bit. Somebody pushed it back with a backhoe. Before I knew it, he had it all planted out with seeds. Now, a lot of his seeds here, he's done it the Thai way, which is different to the Western world, but it's Thai way, so it's very efficient. He's built up these little mounds with a hoe, put a bit of mulch on the top of each one, and then just sprinkled the seeds. Interestingly, just sprinkled the seeds on top, right up here, right along. 1, 2, 3. It's very bright sunlight here. I can't see the screen on my camera. Anyway, and sprinkled the seeds on the tops of them all. Now there's a row along there he's put in, and they're coming up already. Now see these seedlings here, those seedlings there, beans apparently, yeah, beans. They've been in 3 days and they've come up that much already. Over here I see, by looking at these ones, they're corn, I would think. Mr. Chen, he hasn't got any English whatsoever. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right up there is mounds. Now, I didn't turn over the soil. I just scratched it a bit, put some mulch on top and put the seeds. It's fantastic. So I come now, I've got all that row along there. Look out, we've got a shirts fell off the fence off a drawing. I'll have to get that. But all along there, I might put some lemongrass or something. The interesting thing about the building, we come around the back of the building here. It's rendered up to there. And then the rest of it's not rendered. Okay, I don't know. That's all right, I don't mind. Apparently I'm not meant to come around here to see that. That doesn't matter. No one living over here. There's only the fish pond over there. Yeah, so the gardening. Look at the rubbish here. Yep, that's a bit harsh on the Western eyes. But guess what? We'll get out and clean this. The builders next door come continuously into these windrows right along there and get the wood out of that for their fires, for cooking. So my first instinct would be to put it all in a big pile and burn it, but the other guys are using it for firewood, cooking with firewood. Our guys use the firewood, the Thai people use charcoal. That's sort of something I've noticed. Yeah, but all this little broken rubbishy stuff, we can come and clean that up as time goes on. But we've got seedlings coming up already. That's the thing that's fascinating me. Hey, it's a bit of a battle, I can tell you. I've got the tripod. It doesn't quite work properly because it's not a good one. It's one I had to buy when I got over here, trying to save on funds. I've got a camera, but it's got so much glare. It's a phone. I've got so much glare on the lens I can't see what I'm filming. But you get the picture here. Unlimited opportunity for a bit of wild gardening. That's not what the old English people used to do with everything and all the beans in lines. But it's coming along okay. I'm happy with it. It's good. Come for a walk up here. Got to be careful where I'm walking. Interesting part, when we were planting this out, it was wet, it was after rain, and I was wearing the flip-flops, and Mr. Chen was wearing the flip-flops. They ended up with 4-inch wide of mud on the bottom of them, unusable, so we kicked them off. We're using our bare feet. And the interesting part, it's rubbishy looking area, it's dangerous, it's nails and things in it, nails and rubbish. But our feet ended up with a 4-inch, like a 4-inch clog shoe of mud on the bottom. So we're walking on that, and that was protecting us. That build-up of mud, about 3 inches, say 4 inches, 3 inches, was acting like a big boot, and we couldn't feel any sharp things we stood on. That was interesting. I've never noticed that before anywhere. These trees here, the Thai people nipped the tops out of them. All those ones over there, all fresh growths, and they go into soups and things. I don't know any more than that. I've seen them doing it all along the roads. They got the tips nipped out of them, and I've seen people doing it. I did ask one lady, and she said, "Oh, you eat." I was at a guest house down at Phuket, and I said, "What do you do this for?" She was over in the paddock picking them up. She said, "You eat in soup." Oh, okay. Anyway, so the beans are coming up. You've got strings. Somebody's come along and put all the strings on. I put some on. Somebody's come along and put more. I've got to put more up to here, of course, and I've got to make it stronger, because once you get the weight of all the beans on it, it's going to be a challenge to support the weight. But I can't get over how quick this is 2 weeks old, and look at those beans grow. Wow, absolutely fertile. All the weeds, you can see all the weeds here everywhere. Most of that's weeds. I don't really know. I'll have to come along with a hoe and just do a little bit every day. Bit of rubbish, odd bits of rubbish, bottles, looks like a rubbish tip. We'll sort that out. In the back here, behind the beans, I'll put a row of corn, 3 rows of corn, 1, 2, 3, out from the beans. And I want to put out the front, I want to grow either cucumbers, most likely just cucumbers of some sort or another out the front here, and then I'll have beans, cucumbers and corn at the back. And the sun is sort of goes across the sky in that direction, so gardeners understand that. The tall plants at the back, the short plants at the front. We've got heaps of stuff coming up here. We've got a lot more area to plant. Oh, it's another thing we've got to talk about. We'll go back up to the house here. Is when you marry a Thai family, when you marry a Thai person, you marry a family. Now you hear that a lot, and you hear the negative people say, "Oh yeah, all the family will come to you for money and stuff like that." That's a negative interpretation of being in a Thai family or a Thai clan. I haven't come across that, but what I have come across is Thai people, now that they know that I'm gardening, come and have a look at all the plants over here that people have brought to me, because they know that I'm interested in gardening. Now it's a little bit hard to find some things in Thailand gardening if you're in an area where the only gardening shops are Thai shops and they don't have any English whatsoever, and all the plants are different to what I normally grew up with in Australia. They're all different. Oh, I certainly got different names, like long beans are long beans, corn is corn, but they've got Thai names, so it's hard to ask. It's hard to ask for what you want. Anyway, we'll get there. I'm going to order some tomato seeds from Australia and some collards. I don't see collards over here. It might be too hot for them, I don't know. That's the perennial green. I was interested in that in Australia because I was living off grid, and going away for a couple of months and then coming back home, it would have been great to have a perennial supply of vegetables at my off-grid home. But anyway, over here, I'll give them a go, see what happens. This is the summary. We'll keep up. We'll do a video every week. Now, hey, about me pension. I sorted all that out. It took about 4 days. Ended up with a migraine, files, incompatibility. I type it out on files. Centrelink site to send the forms back, which I said you've got to send them by mail, but then I found out you can send them by the internet, but they'll only accept certain files. Won't accept Word document files, won't accept all sorts of things, only a certain type. So I had to work out how to convert the files from my typing program to an acceptable file for the Australian government. Another story, but it doesn't matter anyway. I got all over that. I had headaches and a couple of crook days. But the gardening is fantastic to take my mind off a pension. It's a bit hot today, I'm sweating a bit. I'm getting some eggs and bacon cooked for breakfast. Got the sound over the back there of the gung pond, the prawn ponds. Water splashing, water wheels splashing. Sounds like a waterfall in the forest. Beautiful. There we go. Well, you guys, that's where I'm living now. No more renting. That's it. There's not a lot of gardening area in there, so that's why I came out here. And that will be turned into some form of garden. We finally got the houses finished, and here they are in the lived-in state. We haven't got the front lawns down yet. We've got a community here happening. House in its lived-in state. We've got the washing. I was going to put some long beans along in there, and I dug the soil and dug in the mulch and everything, and then I got suggested to me by the person that's cooking me bacon and eggs that she doesn't want vegetables in the front garden. And I thought about it. I thought, well, it's fairly important to her. To me, it doesn't matter much. It's fairly important to her, so I thought I'll relent, and that's why I went outside. Well, I would have ended up going outside anyway, because there's a lot of unused soil out there. The beautiful thing when you join a Thai family or a clan, all of these plants here were brought. That one was brought for the housewarming, and that one was brought for the housewarming by Uncle Malin. One for that house and one for this house. Phone boxes turned up, which are invaluable for gardeners. A chilli plant in a pot. This plant, ornamental, in a pot. This plant here, which is probably well known to everybody except me. I don't know what it is. These plants, which I don't know what they are. And these plants, which I don't know what they are. And that plant, which I don't know what it is, and a big chilli plant in a pot, have all turned up, and I've got to go and plant them out, and that's fantastic. But I've got to work out where I want to put them, and not knowing exactly what they grow into or their purpose, it's a little bit complicated. Look at those little hot chilies over here. Look at them. One, two, three. They're dynamite. Oh, you got to be careful. You get one of them, you know all about it. So you can see it's all happening. Got to put some more water in my pot plant, my fish tank. There's another thing. I forgot what I was going to say.